the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's trip to woo the Saudi Crown Prince, a guy called Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS. Keir Starmer's trip has been like he's gone over there. He's trying to get investment. He's trying to win contracts for UK PLC. A lot of people are saying that this is good, right? Because he's putting the economy first. You know, Saudi Arabia is where we get our oil, and also they like to buy a lot of defense, a lot of weapons. In some senses, they are the engine of our economy. And so if we can get a good deal on all of that, or expand from it, use it as the first footprint and grow the partnership or whatever. You know, if we partner with them on key infrastructure projects, obviously that is a good setup for Britain.
Economic growth in the UK is my number one mission. For that to happen, we have to win contracts. Saudi Arabia are key partners of ours.
So that's one perspective on it. Meanwhile, a lot of other people are saying that this is almost literally doing deals with the devil.
Breaking news tonight on a very dark subject, the murder of American-based Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
Did you order the murder of Jamal Khashoggi?
Like, MBS was widely believed, and depending on which agencies you get your news from, or you believe after they do government reports or whatever, he was concluded to be likely the guy who personally ordered the Jamal Khashoggi hit. Okay, like, do you remember when they took him into a room in the Turkish embassy? And they murdered, dismembered him, and they apparently, allegedly, reportedly broadcast the whole thing over Skype back to Saudi Arabia, back to Riyadh, so this MBS guy could witness it personally. Remember all of that stuff? Really grisly. It was a brutal and barbaric attack on a Washington Post journalist who was at the time going through the processes to become an American citizen. And that's what they did to him. Okay? Don't forget that. The United States National Security Department people, they did their own report, their investigation, and they decided that it was probably, almost certainly ordered by MBS of Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince. And now here, Sir Keir Starmer is shaking the butcher's hand. That is what is happening, guys. You know, and he's doing press conferences, giving quotes out, giving, face to cam things to put on the Channel 4 news at night time or whatever. And we've got to do deals. We've got to get our growth back. Right, okay, but we've got to fire up the British economy. And sometimes that means difficult decisions. And as he's saying this, he's like shaking his hands, wringing off the blood. Not everything is perfect. It's not a perfect world, but sometimes it's a balancing act. He's signing these trade deals while collecting all the other Saudi dissidents that live in London, putting them on a conveyor belt back to the Riyadh abattoir. And people of sane mind are like witnessing this and going like, yeah, I mean, but Sakir. He's like, what is it, Aid? What's with all the criticism? We've got to get growth back. We've got to get the economy moving again, Aid. And you're like, yes, but wouldn't it just be easier to rejoin the single market? Because that's what this all comes down to. That you want to get growth back. Wouldn't it, why have you got to shake hands with this butcherer? Why have you got to entertain the idea of placating the sensibilities of Donald Trump? Not everything is perfect, eh? Sometimes it's a balancing act. Sometimes you need to negotiate because it's not a perfect world. Just dripping with blood. Just to avoid the possibility of even entertaining rejoining the single market. Could we rejoin the single market, Sakir? It's like, you're gonna summon the Farage. That is what it is, isn't it? That is what, if you even say single market, if you even say Brexit, it's like Beetlejuice. It's like they're worried if you say these words, it'll open the gates to hell and Nigel Farage will appear in a black and white Michael Keaton suit. Wouldn't it just be easier, Sakir, to rejoin the single market? Out comes some sort of supernatural revoltegeist or something like. Oh, man. Allow his mischief to unfurl once more. That is how terrified they are of anybody saying it. Anyone saying Brexit or the single market. So yeah, basically we won't rejoin the EU, guys, because it's politically too toxic for the Labour Party. That's what's going on at the moment. And so to plug the gap in our desperation for growth, we are going to fly around the world desperate for backfill. And all the while pretending we aren't soiling our reputation by doing deals with an orange rapist and the butcherer who murdered the Washington Post journalist. That is what is happening. We're shaking hands and making plans with murderers and rapists to avoid, to circumvent, to dodge the unacceptable state of allowing some Europeans some say on how we make all Europeans' laws fairer. But that is honestly what all of this comes down to. Is we didn't like Brussels telling us to make things like, equality or tax or immigration ledge fairer. And we didn't like it so much that we're willing to get into bed with psychopaths to avoid those niceties at all costs, just to make a point of it. Like we just don't want the nice stuff, the cuddly liberal European We want the psychopaths, bitches like a bad boy. And apparently so do we.
Just another video.